Oh no. Oh, it says 16 of you are watching, so I guess it is streaming. Okay, well, anyhow, I'm Katie. I'm technologically inept, as we can see. And I have a fabric store and I love sewing. So it's like perfect combo, right? Unfortunately, I didn't have enough room in my fabric store for all the apparel fabric I wanted to carry. My quilt room is in the other room. This is just garment and apparel. And all my fabric is kind of stacked against that wall behind you. I have two new shelves to kind of relieve some of the pressure. And I am still not seeing myself. So if you guys are dropping comments, I'm really, really sorry. So I thought maybe we could just we could figure out how to display some fabric. So this is gonna be buttons, this is gonna be buttons. So I think maybe suit lining, just lining in general down here, something that you don't access as often so people can stand and look at buttons, which are way more exciting, let's be real. And I think that's where we're gonna start. Um, so I was excited to start this whole thing because I really love making clothes, sewing clothes. I mean, if you are as tall as I am, you get into that pretty early. Um, and there's not even quilt stores around here, right? I used to work inside of a Joann's for a singer. So I thought to myself, where are we going to get fabric from that's not quilt fabric? And the answer was me. I'm where we're going to get it. I'm going to make it happen. So we have all sorts of garment out here, and I teach a garment club, which is really, really fun. And my Friday night session is full, but I have some lovely Saturday night people, Saturday midday people, and we have a little more room in that class. So good time all around. Um, I'm wondering if maybe we put flannel over here too, because it's by the quilt stuff. And I know quilters also use flannel and blankets, so maybe that's what we put on this wall, and then we can swing around and try to tackle the rest of the mess when we have a little more room. It would be great to see if any of you agree with me or if you all think this is a terrible idea. But unfortunately, I still can't see on my iPad. So, oh my goodness, there are people. This is so crazy. Do I speak French? That's a great question. Because a lot of fabric is like a lot of fabric techniques and types of fabric are French, are related to French. And I know enough French to make people who speak French cringe really bad. So, je t'aime fabrique. I am, however, interesting you should mention that, getting some fabric from France in shortly and Italy. So I'm getting some fashion dead stock from France, Italy, and Japan that is going to be coming in store soon. Here in America, it's a little bit difficult to find apparel fabric, especially quality apparel fabric like I'm looking for. So I have expanded my reach overseas, or my search rather, and that's one of the places that we're looking. I don't like flannel or pajama pants, but like I said, I heard the quilters use it too, so we'll put it on this wall. These are my two new ones. They're from Art Gallery Fabrics. Little teddy bears riding safety bikes. I'm dying, y'all. It's so cute. I'm just gonna keep walking over here and taking a look. Hello, people. So I would love to know what your favorite fabric to sew with is. Um, and if you see something that if you're like, man, you really need to get XYZ in the store, let me know because I'm figuring this out. And I love the advice and the feedback from people letting me know what they like, what they need to see more of in the store. I really am growing fond of wool, which as a Texan, I didn't think I would ever say. I really thought it was hot and uncomfortable, but actually, it turns out if you have high quality wool, it's lovely, it's soft, and really goes nicely, smoothly underneath your machine needle. So that's quite a bit of what I have coming in from Italy and France is high quality wool. So I'm very excited about that. I think we decided we were going to do flannel and blanket materials. Let me get this Sherpa over here. And I have a little bit of minky, but I don't like it as much as the fireside. The fireside, which I might show you in a minute, because maybe instead of lining, we put fireside in that spot. Anyhow, it doesn't really shed as much, so I think it's more pleasant to work with. Talking about blanket materials, we have a Christmas series coming up. So pretty soon I'm going to have a class series that is going to be making, and Holland Fabric is thirsty work, right? Pretty soon we're going to have a class series that is like gifts for this is the fireside. It's so soft. It doesn't shed. It's really nice. We're gonna have a fabric. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted and out of breath trying to haul all this fabric. We're gonna have a series of classes um, that is easy, quick Christmas gifts that anyone at any skill level could use and make. So one of those things that we're gonna do is a monogrammed blanket, and I'm thinking you could either use this to back it, which is our fireside, it's a Moto product, or this over here. It is so soft and the colors are really beautiful. I love this pink. And you could use either of those for that class. Ah, tried to get smart and grab extra this time. I don't know what you do when you go live, but I recently found that I am able to now. After the quilt video kind of blew up, got a lot of attention. Um, so I'm trying it out. Normally, I like to teach. So normally, you'd be sitting down with me and I'd be showing you techniques on how to do things. But I feel like those are just better if I can edit them. Because as you're finding out right now, I tend to ramble a little bit. So at least there I can cut out all the nonsense and my cat's knocking stuff over and things like that. Oh, this stuff is so soft and silky that it just wants to slide right out of the little home I'm trying to put it in. Okay, that emptied up two whole shelves on the back wall of all just kind of blanket adjacent materials that are now up here close to my quilt wall so my quilt people can come in and just see it all together for them. Buttons, buttons, bolts. All right, so everyone's about to get dizzy because I'm going to move the camera to the other side. We have got to figure out this wall over here now. Close your eyes if you're seasick. All right. Right now, what I have is all my knit over here in the corner. And I think that's fine. But it doesn't all fit, which is less fine. Also, I'm finding knits in other places on these rounders because it didn't fit initially. So obviously, we need to scoot this stuff down. These are my 100% linens. Also, really lovely fabric to sew with. And I think we're going to start a linen shelf. Wait, are these linens or linen cotton blends? Linen, linen. Okay. And then we can kind of move this over. Linen, linen, linen. This is cotton. Okay. I'm really pleased to see how many people are really embracing the natural fibers and sewing. And I think maybe I want to encourage that by kind of grouping them together, maybe at this end, so that I have my wool, linen, and cotton kind of all together. It's more breathable. It feels nicer on the skin. Um, and if you're worried about microplastics and toxins and stuff, that is something to consider. Is the clothes you're wearing on your body and what you make them out of. So I think it's pretty cool to have them have their own spot. A lot of these knits, stretch materials, are actually mostly cotton, which is also pretty nice. And I'm making room now for some really cool micro suede knit that I like a lot. I haven't seen it before, but I think it would just make the coolest leggings for like a red bear costume. You're not gonna be able to see me behind the stack. I'm supposed to be able to get like hypes and stuff from going live, but I think the real advantage is that I keep working. If I wasn't live, I'd be playing around on my phone and checking things on the internet. But the fact that I am live means that I'm just going to continue working. So that's actually pretty helpful. Even if nobody sees it, it keeps me accountable. This is the kind of like micro suede knit that I was talking about. It's got really great drape. I'm super excited to have it in store. Definitely think we need to make leggings, which is actually not as hard as you think if you have a serger, which is my favorite kind of machine. Right, knit, knit, knit. What else do we have? Any of you guys stretch? No. Any of you guys stretch? Yes. This is what I mean by like there was just stuff all over the place that didn't really go, like they weren't confined to the right areas because when we moved in, we didn't have enough room for anything. So we just shoved stuff wherever it would fit. Another little piece of flannel I found. It's got to go over behind where we were doing earlier. This isn't it. Yay. See, I'm finding it all over the place. This is going to make it so much easier for everyone to shop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is more than 60-inch bolt. That'll have to be cut down later. That's a later problem. Mhm. See, people were like, "Do you have any knits?" And I was always like pointing all over the store. Now I can just be like, "Yes, right there." So much better. You are a poly crepe. Okay, all my polys are gonna go together in a minute. Cotton gauze. Ooh, throwing stuff on the floor. Let's see. Mm, I'm just on the hunt for more stretch fabric. I'll stretch velvet. They got a stretch satin somewhere. Beep. Yes. Well, I mean, I kind of started with all of my uh, cotton jersey stretch. And then this last one is just kind of random stretch knits, but it's more organized than it was. This is just satin. It's not a stretch satin. Why did I label that crazy? There we go. It stayed there for a little bit. Somebody said hi. Yay. That's all I wanted. Hi. Okay. Stretch knits, jersey cotton, miscellaneous. I think we need to continue with the artificial materials. So I'm going to move my corduroy. Most of it's actually cotton corduroy. It's really hard to find velvet corduroy these days. I'm going to move it with closer to my natural materials, I think. Whoop. Do y'all remember that book? What is it? Button for corduroy? Pocket for corduroy? I don't remember, but the art style was so interesting to me as a kid. And I've always liked how when you're walking in corduroy, it kind of makes a swishy textile sound when you move. That's the denim. This wants to be wool, but I don't think it is. Nope. You guys aren't going to be able to see soon. This is the linen. All right. Okay. Time for me to ask advice again. I have these twills. They're poly stretch twills, so they could go with my stretch, even though they only have a little bit of stretch. Or they could go with my like poly fabric. And I guess based on room right now, they'll go with stretch, even though they're only like a little bit of elasting, like 5%. And we'll see if that makes sense to shoppers. All right. See, another poly stretch 12. Hmm. Like all the rayons and poly silks and all that will go together. And I feel like I almost need maybe 2 or 3 boxes for it all. Especially if I move my brocades over. A lot of these brocades are synthetic mixes too. All right. That means the linen's gotta go. Linen, you will have a new home somewhere else soon. I feel a little bit silly throwing all this out on the internet because how many people can really care about how fabric's organized? But then again, it's the internet and people care. There's got to be someone out there that's like, yes, I have very strong and definitive feelings on whether or not your stretch poly twill should be with your artificial materials or with your stretch materials. And to that person, I say, if you missed this live stream, it's okay. Just send me a note later because I definitely uh, respect your opinion and can use the help. About most of these brocades for the Texas Renaissance Festival, actually, and I have not had as many Renfesters in this year as I'd hoped, but I think a lot of that is just um, I've only been open for a couple months. So, of course, I'm already thinking about Dickens on the Strand, which is my favorite sewing holiday, if you will. I got some fabric to try to remake the coat. My dress, I'm going to keep the same as last year. I'm just going to add some panels because it wasn't as full as I wanted it to be. But it definitely needs a new coat. Last year, I was actually able to find just a regular coat that I tucked into the waistband, and it looked vaguely Victorian-ish, good enough, and we rolled with it. Sometimes that is how it is in costuming when you're up on that deadline. Hey, Angie. I saw that you were coming to Teach the World to Sew Day, and I gotta tell you, I'm like so stressed out about that event. For those of you who don't know, we're doing a Singer Teach the World to Sew Day on this coming Wednesday, the 22nd. And I'm teaching y'all how to make tote bags. And when it was pitched by Singer and they were like, hey, will you host this? I was like, you know, nobody knows where we are. This will be so chill and easy. Like, absolutely, let's do it. But I mean, in a wonderful turn of events, we're actually really booked out. And I spent most of the day before this preparing extra additional tote bags for people for that are planning on coming to the event. So I mean, what a wonderful problem to have. But I am a little bit nervous about it. But knowing that Angie's going to be there makes everything better because Angie makes everything better. And I was super glad to see she's coming because everybody who makes the tote bag with us is going to get 15% off everything they can stuff in that tote bag on every fifth Friday of the month. So a couple times a year, come in, you'll get 15% off everything you can stuff in the bag. And I've seen some pretty talented Tetris players out there. So I'm glad that Angie's going to be one of those people because she definitely deserves it. She's the best. More lining fabric. This has got to go somewhere. Oh, two new shelves up, and I'm already like, nope, we don't have enough shelves. Okay. Well, I think at this point, you guys are probably just freaking out about the huge mess I'm making. So I might cut this live off and just say, I hope to see you in store. It won't look this bad next time. I hope to see you in store. Come see me on the 22nd from Teach the World to Sew Day. Our classes, we have sewing classes all the time. I'm super pumped about our Christmas series coming up where we're doing a different gift that is beginner accessible but has room to grow for advanced sewers coming up every Wednesday evening for like I think 6 weeks in a row. So definitely come to that. Get your last minute gifts done, or just come see me whenever. I'm Katie at the Ultimate Sewing Gallery of Conroe. It's on Robinson Road by the Flips Gems, if you know that area. And if you are far away, maybe my guests earlier speaking French, you can still absolutely watch my regular videos where I have a lot of the content that I teach in the in-person classes. So you're not missing out on too much. Just my over exuberant energy and misheld belief that I can cram as much fabric into this space as I think I can, which is quickly growing inaccurate. So I think I'm gonna go. We'll see. But I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you on Wednesday. Any Wednesday. Bye.